What's going on, Ghosts and Ghouls? It's Montavious back with the Empty Crypt, and today we have the executive producer from Terrifier and Terrifier 2, Phil. So, Phil, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Much appreciated, sir. So, for the people who don't know, give me a little bit of feedback on what your role was in Terrifier.
Okay, aside from being the main actor, that Damien keeps cutting me out of, Damien. So anyway, I backed the film Terrifier and Terrifier 2. I also am special effects with Damien. We do all the special effects, all practical effects. I built sets, anything that's needed, especially when you're doing indie films, and especially when they're low-budget indie films, you wear many hats. So I was UPM, Unit Production Manager, making sure everything went along. I also cooked at times.
Wow.
I actually, believe it or not, I'm a very short, heavy-set man, and I actually doubled for Dave as Art the Clown in Terrifier 1.
Did you really?
Yeah, a little bit. You'd never see me, really, but I drove the car through the wall, through the doors. That's me, yes. Stuntman.
All right.
I actually stunted for Sarah, the mother. My hand is part of the cooking the chicken cutlets. I didn't want her to get burnt.
Oh, wow. Okay. Behind the scenes right there, guys.
Shit. So, yeah, you fill in wherever you can, seriously. And you try, as a producer, you try to keep the film going on some sort of a time schedule and a budget. So, of course, this was a low-budget film, so you had to put in a lot of work. You had to call in a lot of favors. Like I said, we built our own sets. Everything you could do, like even the PAs. The PAs did so much more than just be a PA. I mean, they did everything. They helped with the effects, blowing blood pumps and stuff like that. So we worked as a team, and you have a guy at the helm, Damien, who's amazing, and you got George, who's an amazing cinematographer.
Yeah.
You have the Fuzz on the Lens boys that helped out. They were big. They were our crew, basically. On Terrifier 1, it was me, George, Damien. That was just about it. We had like a 4 or 5 person crew. On Terrifier 2, it wasn't much more. We had like 9. We had Olga, we had Jackie. Those were the constants. I'm sure I'm forgetting people. Scott and Leo were there from the beginning as PAs. So we had a lot of people helping out. And, I mean, friends of mine got us locations. Our carnival scene. I called in a favor from somebody I hadn't seen in 40 years. I knew I knew the boys I used to hang out with worked in Coney Island. And I said, hey, I need a carnival. And they hooked us up with Adventureland in Coney Island, which used to be Nellie Bly. Things like that. My friend Louie, I haven't talked to him in 30 years. I called him up. I said, I don't know how to work with metal. I need some help. He helped me build the straps around the water tank, because I built that.
Wow.
So, they wanted $15,000 for a water tank. You're working with a $200,000 budget. You can't spend $15,000. Mm-hmm. So you build, you work, you do what you can.
For sure. So, so Terrifier 1, what made you want to get into, producing or backing this film? What drew you to it?
That's cool too. On my first film was Joe's War. It was about a veteran that comes back with PTSD.
Okay.
And in there I had to have some blood and some guts and everything, and I turned to my partner at the time, John DeMeo, and I said, John, we need some special effects guy. So he goes, I just worked on a short with someone. His name is Damien Leone. I said, oh, pretty cool. I said, see if he'll come and do us a favor. And I said, we'll throw him a couple of $100, see if he could do something. If I had known then who Damien was, I would have did a lot more, trust me. But I didn't know, so I said, I want to have some blood coming out here and there. I said, you think you'd help me out? He goes, yeah. Sorry, I had to come.
No, you're fine.
And I said, so when we shot the film, he was cool. He's a cool guy. A really cool guy. So we hit it off, and I really liked him. And so I wanted to make an action film next, and I was going to raise money for the action film, and I had remembered talking to him about him wanting to do some horror film with a clown. So I said, listen, I'm going to try and raise money for my action film. Why don't you let me know what you're looking for? I'll put that in the pitch package, and we'll try and get one or the other. So he sends me what he wanted, and I said, that's all you want? He goes, yeah. I said, I'll do it. So he goes, really? I said, yeah, you teach me special effects. So he said, okay. So he thought I was full of shit. So he goes, all right, yeah. So I said, let me know the information, I'll send you a check. So he gives me the information. He had the check the next day. So he goes, oh, wow, this is real? I said, yeah. So he goes, all right, cool. Right then, a tenant moved out of my house in Staten Island. So I said, hey, we got a factory, let's go. So we started building all the props and everything in my house in Staten Island, which kept costs way down.
Yep.
And we did all the special effects building there.
Wow. Okay. So like, for you, what does it mean like when you have so many fans? Like, I mean, millions of people love what you did and what the cast and crew done with Terrifier. Like, what does that mean for you?
Oh God. Well, let's say when I was 13, I wanted to be an actor. I decided I was never going to support a family with this face. So I said, okay, I'm going to find a new career. And so I went to Wall Street, did all this, but I always wanted to be in films. I actually put up money for some films through the years that never went anywhere. And this to me is a dream come true. It's like, Elvis once said, and I'm a huge Elvis fan. Elvis once said in one of his things, every dream I ever dreamed came through 1,000 times. Well, that's how I feel, and the fans made that. It's like every time I turn around, it's like people like praising and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And I call Damien, I go, Damien, you should be so proud of yourself. He goes, it's us, man, it's us. And I go, Damien, trust me, it's you, your vision and everything. He goes, well, you had a lot to do with it. I said, that's great, but take it, man. It's cool. You deserve it. Enjoy it. I'm enjoying it because I'm always the type of person that'll give rather than receive anyway. So I just love seeing the affection going out, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is amazing. My wife is like, you did it again. My brothers, my sisters, my family, they've always been behind me with everything I do. It's just amazing, and the outpouring of love from the fans. And I'd be honest with you, I was never into horror, and Damien hates when I say that. I was never into horror, but I am now. I'm like, horror fans are friggin' amazing, because not only do they love horror, they're film buffs. They love every minutia of everything that's done, and it's really, really cool. It's really cool, and you don't find that. Like, I used to go to Hollywood shows, and the fans there were like, they were cool. They were like, a lot of them were cool, but not every fan was totally into it. Whereas here, I see every fan is like totally into it, and I love that. It's so real.
Do you ever need a break from him? Let me know.
That's Jason Levy, by the way.
I didn't see the interview going on. I thought he was just talking your ear off.
You're getting like your brother, you attention whore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jason over here, but
This is a film interview. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's
Michael
cool.
would stay here and be like, all right,
Let me tell you something. Let's put these down. All right. These boys are the real deal. The Fuzz on the Lens boys, Jason Levy, Michael Levy, and Steve Della Sala. They are amazing. They helped me out on my first film, and the only thing they did wrong was they called me Mr. Falcone, which pisses me off. But no, they wouldn't even let me, like, they want to do everything for you. They're that cool, and that's how they got involved, because if I didn't love these guys, I would have never brought them on. They are that good.
But honestly, he says a lot. I'll give you the $200 after. But I would say this, honestly, one-of-a-kind person. If it wasn't for him, Terrifier would never exist, because he was the only one who believed in Damien. He believed in the project. He believed in everything. It's because of this man that the Terrifier, that everybody's enjoying what the art that Damien done, he has done, we've done. It's all because of him. I'll say that.
Thank you.
amazing.
All right, back to the real interview. No, it's a family, man. It really is.
You definitely get that vibe, like watching the movie. You definitely get that vibe that there was people that cared about each other behind the lens, doing this, making this magic. Now, if it wasn't for filming or being involved in this, what would you say that you would do?
Oh, I was done. I was retired. I had gotten sick in 2007, and I was bedridden for 2 years. When I finally got out of it, it was all in my, it was a lot in my head. I suffered anxiety and deep depression. And my doctor, Dr. Hariso, he helped me. I needed somebody, and I was too proud to go to a doctor. When my daughter was leaving for school one day, she goes, "Dad, you're going to be all right," and she started to cry, and I had to really say to myself, I need help. And I turned to my wife, who picked up the slack, because I was the man of the house. My wife is a 50s wife. She was like, clean, cook, do this, do that, do that, but never had to take on the responsibilities of the family other than raising the children, which is an amazing task. And she pulled it up, and she did everything, and I was useless. I mean, really useless. I didn't even leave bed. One day I woke up, my bed was made, and I was still in it. So she was like,
That's a special woman,
yeah,
for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. I couldn't have done this without her. And she hooked me up with this doctor through a friend, and Dr. Hariso, I was still too proud to talk, even though I went. I wanted to, but I couldn't. And I remember my first 2 visits, I just sat in the chair for an hour. Didn't say anything. He would try and ask me questions. I was like, nah. Then one day he goes, listen, meet me here. This is where our appointment's going to be. It was a bar. And it was a bar that was playing a soccer game, because he knew I was into sports before I got sick. And so we sat down, and he ordered coffee, and he says, you want to eat something? And I said, no. And I still wouldn't talk. I was still shut down. And then, he'd go, oh, that was a cool play. And I go, yeah, it was really cool. And he'd go, wow, and he was talking, we started talking sports. Had nothing to do with me showing that I had a breakdown. And after a while, talking to him, I was like, holy crap, I could open up. And I started opening up. I'm not a crier. And I broke down in his office, and he was like, all right, settle down. And I was like, oh, shit, this don't happen to me. Right. So I was like, this is no good. But once I was done, once I started opening up, he goes, you got to find something you like. And I can only think of film, because I always wanted to be in it. And that's when I started writing a movie and everything. And then my friend came over, and we ended up writing Joe's War together. And I said, how do I do this? I don't know. I don't know what a director does. I don't know what a producer does. I don't know what anybody does. I said, I just want to make a movie. So I read up, what does a producer do? What does the director do? And I said, a director's a bullshit artist. I said, I can bullshit. So, that's what I did. I said, all right, I'm ready to go. And I did it. And that's how I met Damien. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Beautiful history, beautiful history. So, don't want to keep you too much time, but can you tell me a little bit, or about the audience, about Stream, your new movie coming up?
Well, Stream is the Fuzz on the Lens Boys baby.
Yep.
And I'm proud that they asked me to be on, even though I think they just did it as hey, Phil, come on. But I love it. They really sunk their teeth into it. They asked me to be part of it. I told them whatever you need, whatever I could do to help. Matter of fact, Damien was away, and they said, man, we have to film this. We got the actors coming. We got this. I said, I'm no Damien, but I'll do whatever you need. And I ended up making some props for them and stuff. And they were like, holy cow. Even Damien goes, oh, wow, they look really good. I said, yeah, give me more opportunity to paint and stuff. I could do it, man. I could do it. I promise. Sure. So, yeah, it's cool. So Stream, when that comes out, I think everybody's got to watch it. It's cool. If you're a Terrifier fan, go and watch Stream. For sure. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. Man. Seriously. So, guys, if you haven't seen Terrifier 2 or Terrifier, go check it out. Again, we're here live with Phil, the executive producer of Terrifier, guys. So go ahead and check it out.